Preparing for a Scrum Master interview. Discover this essential question and an insightful answer to help you excel. What would you do if a stakeholder comes to you with an urgent request that conflicts with the team's current sprint goals? If a stakeholder comes with an urgent request that conflicts with the team's current sprint goals, the first step is to assess the urgency and impact of the request. I would start by having a conversation with the stakeholder to understand the full context, including why this request is deemed urgent, what the potential consequences are, and how it aligns with the overall product vision or business goals. Once I have a clear understanding, I would collaborate with the product owner, as they are responsible for prioritizing the backlog and balancing stakeholder needs. Together, we would evaluate the request against the current sprint goals. If the request is genuinely critical and must be addressed immediately, the product owner and I would discuss whether the sprint backlog should be adjusted. However, any decision to change sprint goals would not be taken lightly, as it impacts the team's commitment. If the request cannot wait until the next sprint, I would involve the team in the conversation. Transparency is key in Agile, so I would present the situation to the team, explaining the stakeholders' urgency and why their request might require an adjustment to the sprint. The team's input is essential, as they are best placed to assess the feasibility of incorporating the new work without compromising existing sprint goals. In some cases, the team might decide to incorporate the request, but in others, it may be more appropriate to defer it or split the work into smaller, manageable parts that can be delivered in subsequent sprints. If the sprint backlog needs to be reprioritized, I ensure that all stakeholders, including the product owner, understand the trade-offs involved. This might include de-scoping less urgent work from the sprint to accommodate the new request, or negotiating a timeline with the stakeholder if delivery cannot happen immediately. In situations where the request is urgent but does not justify interrupting the sprint, I would work with the product owner to communicate this to the stakeholder and set realistic expectations for when the request can be addressed. Clear and honest communication helps stakeholders understand the rationale behind decisions and builds trust. Ultimately, while the Scrum Master's role is to protect the team's focus and ensure the sprint goal is maintained, I also recognize the importance of addressing urgent business needs. Balancing these priorities requires. Check out our channel for a complete set of interview questions and free courses